Hi guys, are going to talk about distraction today, and we are in this really pretty place. I'm gonna sit down because he's really tired, and I'm gonna do this. Maybe I'm gonna do this here. I don't know. We'll see. He's getting a little bit better, but let's talk about distraction. What is distraction, and why talk about distraction? Distraction is distraction, right? So, what is traction? It's like action, right? So, distraction is not something that happens to us, but it's an action that you take. Okay, this is all from this book called Hooked, and it's the best. It's like the best book I read on understanding why we get distracted. Okay, go download this book and listen to it as soon as you can. I have it on my audios, so go download it. It will change your life. So we have traction and we have distraction. Traction is the action that we take that pulls us towards what we need to do, right? We're gonna go towards the stuff that we need to do, and things that move us towards closer to who we want to become is traction, right? These are acts of traction. Distraction is what happens when you get pulled away from what we want to do, right? Away from becoming the person that we want to be, right? Anything that you plan to do is traction. The time that you plan to waste is not wasting time, right? But if you don't plan to spend 4 or 5 hours on your phone doom scrolling, and you're getting tricked into doing that, then this is distraction. And you think it's okay, right? I have all the time in the world. So you think. But remember, you don't. We can make more money, but we can't make more time, right? Remember that. Time is your most expensive commodity, and you're just giving it away to these companies. And trust me, you're gonna regret it, okay? Because basically, I know that, because when you spend time doing something that you don't want to do is regret. So avoiding distraction is the key to not living with regret. Okay, you need to know that 90% of the time that we get distracted is not because of something that is happening outside of yourself. It's something that is happening inside of yourself. Okay, so what we need to learn is the patterns that we have that make us go for this fast food dopamine, okay, that's called a smartphone. This dopamine hit is addictive, and this is why you need to pay attention, because if you keep doing this, it's not going to just impede your success, but create medical issues later on, you know. So let's talk about it. All of us want to be in control. It's our nature. The reason why is because we can mitigate threats. When you're in control, threat is very low, okay? But the issue is that you're not in control when you use your phone, because the phone is actually a threat, okay? I'm seeing a lot of executives, a lot of VIPs switch to dumb phones, and none of them let their kids use their phone. Why is that? What do they know that we don't? Okay, so you got to pay attention. Let's talk about what happens to your brain. We talked about this place in our brain called the amygdala. Okay, that is the part of the brain that is always looking for threats. Okay, what the amygdala does is, think about it in a basketball terms. The amygdala is the point guard in of the team, of the offense and defense. It surveys the entire court and sees all the players and makes split decisions to score points, okay? If you're a bad point guard, you miss all the shots. If you're a good one, you pass the ball to the person that can score, right? And then a great point guard figures out if he's going to score or pass to somebody that is better. You know, if you're in control, you can do this very fast. It's like a split-second decision, right? When you're in control, the level of threat goes down, right? When you're not in control, you get stressed and it's painful, right? That's what this stress does. This pain turns inward, and to relieve the pain, you look for fast food dopamine, right? What is that? Weed, alcohol, sugar, porn, playing games on your phone. Pick your poison. It turns into this cycle of consumption and misery and death, really. Like chronic overstimulation of neurons lead to cellular death. Let me explain how that is. If you have chronic dopamine that's being released, it's going to kill your neurons, okay? This neurons doesn't want to die, so it down regulates the receptors for dopamine. It basically says, I'm gonna close some receptors, okay? So when you smoke the weed or drink the alcohol, you will need more of it to find more receptors, because a lot of old receptors have been closed up. More and more for less and less. That's called tolerance, all right? And when neurons start to die, that is called addiction. We will unpack more of addiction later, but for now, know that if you have an addiction to your phone, it's not gonna be easy to get focused and undistracted, because you don't even know you're getting distracted. That's how good these phone people are. They have employed a whole bunch of people that are brain scientists, and they know exactly what to do. So your brain is on autopilot. You know people that have died because they couldn't stop drinking, right? Right? You know them. Do you think they're dumb? Do you think they're stupid? No. Their brain took over like a virus, and they just didn't know. They didn't know what was happening. So that's why education is power. That's why we need to know our triggers so you can be in control, right? External triggers are the dings and the pings from your phone. They're outside yourself. They're your friends, the stuff that's outside of yourself. But guess what? That only counts of 10% of your distraction. Yeah, 10%. What's the other 90%? 90% of the time that we get distracted is because of internal triggers. What are these internal triggers? These internal triggers are these uncomfortable emotional states that we seek to escape, okay? That it's like going to the fridge and, drinking some sweet stuff, or, opening your phone and just spending 5 minutes on Pornhub, okay? So the first step of understanding why you're getting distracted is to know this, okay? This is why, despite of the fact that we know what to do, don't drink the alcohol, don't open Instagram, don't smoke the weed, right? We still do it. We can't help ourselves, because the problem is not discipline. The problem is emotional regulation. The problem is ourselves. It's inside ourselves. So basically, time management is pain management. Remember that when you get distracted, okay? And with that, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, and don't kill any insects today. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Look how cute he is. And look how pretty they are over here. Bye.